Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before I get started with my latest project, I'd like to thank everyone who subscribed. I'm over 100 subscribers. That's a milestone I never really even worried about achieving, but I'm glad some people are interested in what I'm doing. So, with today's project, I've always had an interest in self-sufficiency and, supplying my own needs and whatnot. So on that note, I have chickens in my backyard. Say hi, ladies. Which provide me a lot of chicken poop. And normally I just put it in the compost pile and add it to the rest of the, garden waste and stuff that I have. However, I was looking online at biodigesters. And I come up with a simple plan to make something that everybody, with a 3D printer at least, should be able to make at home relatively easily. So here we go. Work backwards here. This is the gas exit portion. I'm going to epoxy this into here. Make sure it's good and sealed, and tape these up and seal them, or use pipe dope, whatever. But I'm going to use sealant on the threads on those as well. And as you can see, I tapped that a little bit crooked. My bad. This part here will be the exit. I'll go here. This is where the waste from the biodigester will come out as basically usable fertilizer. I actually plan to feed an algae pond with it, but that'll be another project. And I'm going to put this here as a buffer or insulator for this, so it all seals. Ideally, this would be best to be made out of the same material as this, the ABS, so that the solvent glue will melt to it, but I find decent results with the normal ABS solvent glue and the PETG, so I went with that because that's what I have, and ABS, well, sucks to print. So that'll be the feeder tube. I got to cut a 45-degree angle on the top of this tube, stick it all in here, and seal it all up. To cut the hole for the exit, I'm going to heat up this piece of pipe and then stick it through the plastic. It's probably better than attempting to drill this stuff. This stuff has a tendency not to cooperate in that situation. Well, I got a hole, but I got like a flap inside there I'll have to peel out. It's a little bigger than I wanted, but since I'm going to be filling it with epoxy, it won't really matter that much. Now, for the feeder tube, I'm going to use this steel pipe, do the same thing, heat it up, and force it through. I'm going to get this one a little bit hotter, so hopefully it makes a cleaner hole. Right, hole for the feeder tube adapter. Here's the feeder tube adapter, as I put it on that way. Now I busted it, so I got another one printing. Well, I got my new part printed, and here's my epoxy. Well, I'm going to mix her up and glue everything in. There she is, all glued together. Now, I gotta paint it. As far as I know, anaerobic bacteria doesn't like sunlight, so I'm gonna put a couple coats of primer and maybe paint it black to keep it nice and warm. Here it is, all painted up, pretty much ready to go. Now, all I gotta do is wait for my supply of chicken poop to thaw and mix it with water, blend it up, or well, stir it up and pour it in there. Just about this level. And then every time I feed it, it'll take about the same amount out. And I should be able to produce methane in about a month. That's about it for this. Part 2 will cover storage of the gas, and part 3 will hopefully show the whole thing in use. Well, hope you liked. If you do, hit like, subscribe, and I'll be back with more.